Hey leaders, it's David, and today I want to talk to you about the leadership tool of our Customer Experience Monitor, or what you might know them as our CEMs. So our CEMs are really based, they're scores that come from guest surveys that are received on their receipts every time they come and eat with us. Those receipts are randomized, which ones get a survey, and also one of the things that we want to be careful not to do is not to let the guests know that they have a survey on their receipt. We really want those surveys to be unbiased in a positive or a negative way. Either way, we want to make sure they're unbiased, so we don't tell the guest about those surveys. When the guest goes to fill out a survey, we know that they get a free sandwich if they complete the survey, but it goes through a series of questions that ask them from everything about how their experience was overall to the speed and taste, even specifically asking about the items that they specifically ordered on their meal. And so from that, what we do is we gather all that survey score, and we can look at how our store performs as well as how the chain performs, or even our individual market is performing on customer service. Now, when we look at those scores, oftentimes we'll see those scores are maybe in the 70s or 80s, and it doesn't mean that a 70 is a C or an 80 is a B. What it looks like is to say at the end of the day, our scores are based on what they call top box scoring. That means top box is the highest rating you can get, is only the scores that get counted for. And so when we have a 73 in overall satisfaction, that doesn't mean that 73% of our guests were satisfied with their experience. It means that 73% of the surveys, guests said that they were highly satisfied. Number 5 on the scale of 1 to 5, they were 5, highly satisfied. If they were 4 satisfied, or 3, 2, 1, even highly dissatisfied, those don't count towards our score in a positive way. We only get credit for anybody who says they're highly satisfied. And so what we have to do sometimes is we have to dive into that data a little bit more to understand. And so there's multiple categories that Customer Experience Monitor measures, but specifically there's 6 categories that we usually start focusing on, and then dive deeper into other categories as we see areas that we need to learn more and improve on. So those 6 categories are these. First off, it's overall satisfaction. Overall satisfaction measures overall how satisfied were they with their experience. And so this is going to be a holistic view of what their total experience looks like. Oftentimes, overall satisfaction is influenced by other categories. 2 of the main categories that influence overall satisfaction are both order accuracy, which makes a lot of sense. If a guest has a great experience otherwise, but they get the wrong order or something's wrong with their order, usually they're not going to leave highly satisfied. Another area that's very key is fast service. So if guests are not receiving a fast experience, then usually they're not going to be highly satisfied overall because they felt like they had to wait too long. Other key categories that we might look at are also ACE, attentive and courteous employees. So this is truly a measure of how nice and friendly and pleasant do they feel like the employees were. So these are oftentimes based off of experiences. Do they have a good experience with the employee? Were employees smiling, and were they polite? Were they demonstrating core 4, or were they short? Were they not smiling? Those can all impact the ACE score. Also, another area that we look at is taste. This is overall how satisfied are they with the taste of the food. Of course, we have other subcategories where we can talk about taste of nuggets, taste of chicken sandwich, taste of grilled products, anything that relates to any specific product. We can also look at the temperature of food, portion size of the food. They're asked all of those categories to answer in those subcategories. But generally speaking, we start with taste, and then we can go and dive deeper into those subcategories if we need to figure out what's going on with our taste. And a final category that we really like to look at is overall cleanliness. This lets us know overall how do guests feel with the cleanliness of our restaurant. So this can be everything from outside in our parking lot to our drive-through to our dining room, all the way into our restrooms and how clean our restrooms are. So when we we look at CEMs, at the end of the day, we're trying to understand how are we performing. CEMs are not the only indicator of whether or not guests are having a great experience. Of course, we know if guests are coming back, that's an indicator. We also know how we're doing on our internal audits. Those are all lenses in which we can look at guest feedback. All those things are lenses in which we can look at how we're performing. But the customer experience monitor, our CEMs, are a lens that we can look at to better understand what does our service look like to guests and what are the areas that we can improve. So I hope this is a great tool that you can put into your toolkit. Thank you all for all that you do. Thank you all for caring about the guests every day. You all are truly making a positive influence in the lives of people that we interact every day.